There comes a time in every sentient being's life where all they crave is some good old doctor-prescribed cock and ball torture. Living conditions are at an all-time low here on Pandora, but I'm still out here risking my own life and limb just to give you guys sustenance and content. Through these challenges, I have been psychologically engineered to endure pain and torture. But this one is going to be a little different. Although Borderlands is entirely based around guns, every Vault Hunter possesses an intrinsic ability. From meat cycling to delving into your inner weeb fantasies. But can we beat Borderlands 2 using only action skills? The rules will be simple. I can only use my action skills to damage my enemies. To paraphrase for my audience that haven't gotten their college degrees yet, I only make kill with F button. Before we begin, I just want to point out that I'll be flying through the actual story content that this game has to offer. If you want some of that great storytelling, you can watch this video that was made by my lesser attractive, not as poo-poo haha funny friend, Obo Shoes Games. I house a disease, and the only cure is getting my ass f***ed in a variety of different ways. Will this run fill me with joy and ecstasy? Is my success only dictated by my responsiveness to monotony? Well, grab a carbonated beverage, use your technological aptitude to beat that like button blue, and let's find out the answers to these questions together. To begin this run, we must choose the right Vault Hunter suitable for the job. Although Krieg does correlate with my personal belief of ass clapping, holy f***, I love this. Whew. Oh, it's getting on here. I have already made a video on the lad, so we will be going for Axton, aka Broken Cube, a very special channel member of mine. The actual antagonist in this game isn't Jack. It is trying to stay alive for 43 seconds, all while dealing with tumors that can't be treated. Great planning and knowledge will be pivotal to our success. Pandora and its frozen tundra. This land houses side effects, of which may include your testicles submitting their lives to the merciless Mother Nature and death. After regaining composure, I was an innocent bystander to a home invasion, and Claptrap somehow escaped euthanization. I used my medical background to assess the situation. We have concluded from results that he was now visually handicapped, and I had to help him. But something was missing. I had no action skill, a flaw that makes things harder than it should be. Just like my personality. Until I was level 5, I was going to have to partake in a dark practice that had been long forgotten. Some good old-fashioned mud gloving. Apparently, Knuckle Dragger didn't take the news lightly. His running only made me more erect, and this a whole lot easier. This gulag brought temporary bliss, but only to me, of course. Conveniently placed brainlets met with my axe, and Sir Hammer Me Daddy Lock welcomed me home with open arms. With our tard wrangling duties reinstated thanks to Hammerlock's engineering skills, the world was my oyster.
I'm gonna jump in there and masturbate.
Ready to be another statistic, I did the recently never thought of, and that was going to axe, boom, and boom. A question. This went well, I'm not lying. This did... Wow. Gearbox once again f***ed me emotionally, and they got what they wanted. Side quests were unfortunately a must, and you don't understand how much I really hate these things. Being forced into labor that I didn't want to do was an atrocity, but after having Midgemong and a midget collab on my prostate, I was lucky enough to suckle the titty of fate and achieve level 5. Not only did this accomplishment make me exceptionally horny, but I was ready to finally begin this challenge. My lone and trusty saber turret did things to my enemies that were not ethically acceptable. But in my world, this was poetry and violence. Everything seemed easy and satisfying, I know. But this is where the combat becomes unconventional. After the 30 seconds of social distancing my turrets provide, I must wait 43, running around the arena clenching my cheeks and hoping my enemies are kind to me and my body. Boom and boom were now boom and doom, and your boy Stupid Idiot was on his way to Claptrap's bully to teach him a lesson. Here is some footage of me running around as my turret did all the work taking on Flint. And now, here is some footage of me ascending past the mortal realm and levitating. In Borderlands 2, you have no direct control of this turret besides slapping it down and hoping for the best. But with the few false promises, like a life of freedom and money, it does tend to do its job rather well. Flint was, as the young men say nowadays, laid the f*** out, and we were on our way to Sanctuary to meet up with the boys. It seemed as though the inhabitants of Pandora Pandora had left their own child to starve. Their baby was hungry, and these degens didn't give a single care in the world. Thankfully, the incredibly attractive and merciful main protagonist did. With parental instincts now in overdrive, he devoured these bandits that had the personality of a porta potty and made sure to regurgitate his food right into Sanctuary's mouth. Now, before we go on to our educational lecture on the important process of picking the right body pillow, let's discuss the plan for this run. Operation I Heard My Parents Wrestling Again, so I jumped in to help my dad is now in full effect. And in this run, yeah, there really isn't a plan. We run it down the green skill tree and enjoy being an ineffectual dingleberry that contributes nothing to society every time my turret is on cooldown. It takes a certain type of rock brain to do such a run, and fortunately, I fit that quota. Now, enough talking about the things I exclusively do for pleasure, and let's talk about the lads who have so happened to have sponsored this video. So, this is so awkward. I've never been on a date with a wallet before.
Stop flattering me. There are so many fish in the sea. Why did you choose me?
Fuck. You're just so dreamy and interesting. I don't know. Twirls hair with fingers. Tell me about yourself.
Master's degree in physics, exceptional ukulele player, 2 world championships in League of Legends, and I'm so thick I can't even fit into your front pocket.
Wait, what?
I'm so dummy thick I can't even fit into your front pocket.
Yeah, wow, this is, I gotta go. I need to leave.
What's the matter, Senza? Can't you realize perfection?
Yeah, it was nice meeting you. Have a good one, okay? I'm out of here.
No.
Don't you dare hurt my stupid idiot.
No, no, no. Please don't hurt me, carbon fiber titanium ridge wallet that just so happens to hold up to 12 cards.
Take this shotgun round full of 30,000 5-star reviews, you bitch. Oh my god, carbon fiber titanium wallet. Not only did you save me, but your sleek, light, and industrial design sure does look sexy. Thanks and no problem. Now, let's find a private room so I could pound that sweet little Samsung Galaxy of yours with a browser search of ridge.com/diaperbooty. Oh yeah, I'm a sellout. I already know about these bad boys. Head over to ridge.com/diaperbooty and enjoy the thrill that is flaccid to erect in nearly 2 nanoseconds. Seriously, this wallet is awesome. There is a wide range of wallets to choose from and 30,000 5-star reviews to back the fact that this wallet is OP and needs to be nerfed. Thank you to Ridge for sponsoring yet another video, and get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/diaperbooty and using the discount code diaperbooty at checkout. Link in the description. Now let's get back to spanking up Pandora. The Firehawk was in my sights, and she needed a nice hot boy to take her to the local high school dance. Health officials would be proud because eliminating any and all contact was the play here. My turret did a pretty good job at giving these men a nice painful pat on the chocolate starfish, but I think he did an even better job at simping over his queen and protecting her from the horrific neckbeards. I think you guys already know how this song and dance ends. There was no way that these fools could get past Lilith and my turret. They got past my turret. Wow, that's interesting. With Lilith now saved, our chocolate hurricane also needed some of that lovin'. Gearbox owed your man for compensatory damages to his underwear. A cinematic experience that not only empowers our queen, but shows that she isn't fucking around. But we couldn't let temptation take over us. Roland was waiting. Grabbing the pieces to assemble a bandit technical wasn't very difficult, just rather uninteresting. Please kill it. No! He has a pubes worth of hell. God damn it. No, no, no.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer. Every night I feel my leg.
Before I could commit mass genocide with my turret, I knew that attempting to save Roland now would be virtually impossible. So we were going to have to partake in a heinous practice, one that I am very ashamed of. You don't need a unified brain to realize that these quests take a bit of time for about 2 bars of XP. This wasn't enough. We had to indulge in the wet dreams of many Borderlands fans, something that is second nature to those creatures: farming. The play was to farm Bad Maw to level 14, and that, gentlemen, we did. We must adapt to the physical threats being thrown at us. The most important component of the Borderlands equation was finished, and it was time for these men to start dropping like panties on prom night. Inside, things went both ways. Not only did I do the slapping, but I also received my fair share of poundings. Is this what you sickos wanted? Are you happy now? Saving Roland from the machine learning AI fleshlight didn't go to plan. The cooldown of my turret and its damage didn't pack the right punch to f this thing good, so I had to venture off and bring this crusade to a more scenic location. Roland was saved, and I took my very well-deserved thank yous humbly. My arsenal and I, and when I say arsenal I mean my turret, were ready to go off and blow up a train. I want you all to know that I did meet up with Tina and tried getting past this area without going into a side quest delirium, but Wilhelm and his army of dominatrix bots had a bigger authority over how much fun I could have than I did, so avoiding side quests was not an option. Bandits were met with the horrifying horrors of my turbo chadliness, and it was finally time for my smooth brain to take on Wilhelm. My turret was doing some fatty damage, and I was proud of what I was witnessing, until Wilhelm's shieldbot flew in to provide me with sorrow. Since the arrival of shieldbot, tumors are on the rise, Jesus refuses to return, and not even Saul Goodman could get me out of this one. This fight took me nearly an hour and a half of retries, but eventually RNG decided to give me the good old friendly slap on the ass. The malignant abscess that had caused me nearly 47 pounds of tears was in my possession, and I placed it right inside of Sanctuary, just like they wanted. Being the award-winning and critically acclaimed writer that I am, I'll let you guys know now, Sanctuary was to save Sanctuary, Lilith teleported the entirety of that bitch to another location. This was all super awesome and cool, but my turret and I were now homeless, as Lilith decided not having me on board would be an eco-friendly option. It was time to relive the ways of my ancestry and go on a pilgrimage. Overall, this was the hardest part of the run. Just waiting for my turret cooldown was beyond monotonous, and it was a constant battle trying to fight the urge of picking up a weapon and 360 no-scoping my enemies. In due time, I was able to build the sacred 5G tower and protect it from the dirty conspirators that thought to take it out. Finally, I was able to re-establish connections with Sanctuary, but of course, my help so far wasn't enough. But their will was my nipple to rub. And out of all of the things that this microphone has taken into its molecules, that was probably one of the dumbest things I have ever said. Jack took our boy Bloodwing and was threatening to hurt that cute little thing. As long as I was the sheriff in town, I wasn't going to let this slide. Claptrap and I were off to raid the wildlife reserve, and this National Geographic documentary was a 2-for-1 special just for the boys. You get to see cutie little animals, and yours truly giga twerk his ass on these robots' foreheads. We made our way through, and I had my fair share of deaths. Any current iteration of Senza is built to withstand this amount of monotony, but at this point, this shit was just Pokemon, but for people who enjoy hemorrhoids and not having any sort of fun. If you're attempting this challenge, then don't you worry, because this dehumanizing experience is nearly over. Once you make it through the horde of enemies, taking on Bloodwing is quite easy. Just throwing your turret in the middle of the arena and hoping he flies near is all that is needed. Possibly the easiest boss fight of this run. But we had a problem. Jack killed off Bloodwing, and his guilt was undeniable. His punishment was surely to be death. To get to him though, first I had to take a treacherous path to meet with the leader of the slabs. Here in the Highlands, there were no laws against the usage of a highly destructive turret that provides a unique death experience for everyone it shoots. I'm sure their legislative branch was shivering in their panties for not thinking on the ball on that one. Brick proved his worthiness to the squad, but were we really homies if we had never kissed before? Unfortunately, there was no time to find out, especially with that disgusting creature out on the loose. It was time for Jack and his men to vacate the premises of opportunity because I was going to be renovating the place with bullets. Past Senza was feeling a little cocky and decided to go for a quick dub. This didn't work. So alright, fuck it. Video's over. The dream is dead. I'm going to go play Hentai Pussy 3 now and call it a day. Thanks for watching, guys. Promptly receiving the entirety of my enemy's bullets was great, and for the pain that I went through, I was compensated. The second time around, I was able to take his body double down and grab his pocket watch. I'd like to thank the Academy for giving me around 3 hours of peace without doing any side quests, but it was time to exchange my happiness for the opposite of happiness. There was no way I was going to get to bunker this underleveled. Don't be deceived. Being the deranged individual I am, I did try, but this just led to the hairs on my sack being chewed off by the big constructor boy and his men. With ADHD medicine taken, I slammed through these side quests, pumping as much lead as humanly possible, and received my natty gains in nearly no time. It was now time for round 2 of this masochism. Great many asses were getting beat to a pulp on the way to bunker, and those asses, by the way, all belonged to me. This run had turned into a survival horror game. After my turret would go down, I would spend the next 30 seconds terrified for my dear life. But after all that autistic XP grinding, I couldn't stop here. Alas, the siege on bunker had begun. We had given our full allegiance to the Crimson Raiders and had finally unlocked our true potential. We were not a force that could be reckoned with. Wait for bunker to fly near you and let loose that concentrated testosterone you have there in your pocket. Bunker experienced the sweet taste of annihilation, but we couldn't celebrate. No battle is won without a sacrifice, and saving Angel was where that sacrifice was going to come into play. Thanks to Jack, my Roland fan fiction would never come to fruition, and this not only made me inherently angry, but also worried, because entering the last part of the game meant that my turret and I were going to be royally fucked. Iridium Blight was in driving distance, and I took a family road trip there with my turret. Upon seeing the bridge ascend and acting surprised like this isn't the 30th time I've played through this game, it was time to head our cute little behinds to Sawtooth Cauldron, aka my enemies here were going to stick their dicks so far into my rectum that whoever could possibly pull them out would be named king of the entire continent of North America. This area wasn't fun, but at least my turret was able to put in some work taking out the buzzards from atop of Trump's tower. For once, I was out of all of that AIDS without a headache and in the Arid Nexus without severely being underleveled. After grabbing a brand spanking new shield, my turret and I took up the profession of being an exterminator, overloaded a couple of pump stations, and made our way into the info stockade. You see, in the past, the non-successful, mentally unstable, and volatile Senza would avoid Saturn and make a shitty joke about killing her in the next playthrough. But now that I have matured, now that I have been enlightened with that sweet and succulent YouTube ad revenue, I have decided to go out of my way and bring you all content. Now, enough talking about how great and caring of a human being I am, and let's finish this run up. Breaking and entering isn't a crime here on Pandora. Claptrap did something useful for once and worked on getting the gates to Jack's stronghold open as my turrets held the enemies back. 53 deaths and nearly 2 hours making it into the Vault of the Warrior. I was adapted for such aids. I have actually grown fond of this masochism. Inside the vault though, it was clear that this wasn't no Weenie Hut Jr. shit. My turret found Jack and immediately clotheslined his ass in not even 5 minutes after entering the arena. But this was only a temporary solution at hand, because there he was, the Borderlands 2. This was the moment of truth, to see if my singular turret could take on the Borderlands 2. Fortunately, the turret could actually hit him, but this was going to be much, much worse. After 15 minutes, it seemed as if my turret only hit him with a bullet or two, and this was tragic. But if there is a will, there is a way. Although my asshole now had the circumference of the Taj Mahal, I kept trying. Even with my constant failures, I knew that this was possible, but I was going to have to turn to the single thing that I hated most. With level increased and motivation at an all-time high, this time I wasn't going to be civil. Borderlands 2 was going to meet his demise. 1 hour and around 18 Ellie body pillows later, the Borderlands 2 fell, and I finally did it. This was it, gentlemen. You can beat Marvel's Lego Avengers without taking damage damage. This was a fun little run that I had planned for a while, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the video, then hit that like button so you can officially say that you have kissed me before. If you made it to the end, comment sandwich OnlyFans so I could see how many people would be interested in me opening up an OnlyFans where I solely make sandwiches upon viewer request. Thank you to the Diaper Booty Gang and Ridge for funding this video, and thank you to you for sitting through this whole thing and watching. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.